guys, Shauna here.
And Shay here.
In today's video, we're going to be talking about a print-on-demand product that we could sell on our Etsy shops, and I think it's one that a lot of people don't really think about putting in their Etsy shops.
No.
I thought this product was so interesting and so fun that for Christmas, I made myself one, and I made my best friend Shay one, and our other friends Manny, Laneta, and Mike. Well, we're going to show you what that product is today, and I'll give you some stats so you can see what the potential of that product can be. But we think it'd be more fun to talk about if we bring you along with us. We're headed to Las Vegas. Thanks for joining us in Vegas, guys. The product we wanted to talk to you about today is luggage or suitcases. And yes, you can use print on demand or POD to print up suitcases.
So print on demand is when a company takes the designs that you have, puts it on a product, and they actually ship it off and send it to the customer for you.
In this video, we're going to share some experiences I've personally had with suitcases in my shop,
Some A+ tips for designs on luggage,
and how to fulfill that product with your print-on-demand company. We're going to be doing that with Printify.
But first, let's look at some stats for this suitcase to make sure it's worth our while.
We're going to use Erank. That's a paid tool, and I'll leave it linked down in the description if you're interested in checking it out for yourself. But that is how I'm doing this research, just to make sure that we're looking at a product that really does have a lot of demand. So that means a lot of customers coming to the Etsy platform and searching that product in the search bar. Here I'm using the keyword tool on Erank. I have suitcase typed up there at the top, and then the keyword statistics, we're looking at those bars there, those green and yellow bars. The average searches there in green on the top is telling us there are 4,094 estimated queries every single month with that word suitcase. That means that's how many people are coming to Etsy and typing that in the search bar. On the bottom for Etsy competition, we see the color yellow. Green would be even better, but I'm always looking for something that is not red. Even if something's red, I'm not afraid of it. It means there's a lot of competition, but if there's a lot of search volume, I'm still looking for a way to break in. So for the Etsy competition for suitcases, though, it's yellow, which means there's a little more space here.
All right, you guys, so I'm going to go and unpack my new suitcase while Shauna talks to you guys. So I will talk to you later.
We'll see you in a bit, Shay. All right, first, a quick story. I did actually put suitcases in my own shop. I didn't take a huge stab at this. I only put a few suitcases as I was kind of testing out different products, and they did start getting quite a few views. I didn't actually make a sale, but I only put 7 or 8 of those listings out. I did absolutely no research for that product. All I did was put my bestseller designs. We primarily sell t-shirts and sweatshirts in my shop, and that's what Shay sells in her shop. So I just took designs that were doing well on those products and put them on suitcases, which you could see how maybe that would not be the most desirable design on a suitcase product. Even though that was the strategy I took, they started getting quite a few views. If you really want to be successful with any product or in any niche, you really have to kind of keep digging away at it over time. And I do believe I would have made good sales with the product of suitcases had I continued to add to that product over time. Secondly, let's talk about where or how would you do your research to know what types of designs to put on this product, on luggage or on suitcases. You can always go to Etsy and look at bestsellers to see what types of designs are selling well. And one little hack that I kind of discovered, and I did not do this in my shop when I did originally put those suitcases in it, but I knew that this is what I wanted to do if I had kept taking stabs at getting some suitcases sold, was to look at luggage tags for inspiration. And that's actually what I looked at here when I made these suitcases for myself and for Shay. And I actually made one for each person here on No Friend Left Behind. Hi, I'm Shauna. Nice to meet you. If this is the first video that you happen to land on from our channel, we post videos each week sharing our stories. So I bought one for myself, I made one for Shay, and I also made one for our friend Mike, our friend Manny, and our friend Laneta. So far during this trip, I was hoping that we'd get yelled at the airport. Maybe when we fly home, we'll get yelled at and have someone shouting our names. They all said something a little bit different, and I made them all bright colors to make it a little easier to find them as they're on that conveyor belt. Even though they all said something a little different, they were all with the same concept of getting someone to shout your name if they see it on the conveyor belt. So, for example, I'll just read Manny's there. Stop, I'm not your bag. But can you yell, Manny, really, really loud, please? But even though we didn't get yelled at the airport, each time we've been in the hotels, the suitcases have been great conversation starters. We've had people down the hallways yelling, Shauna, Shay, because as we're toting our suitcases behind us, they see our names on them. So there are lots of other funny angles and takes you can get inspiration from if you start looking at luggage tags. This type of design makes a really great gift, and lots of people come to Etsy looking for gifts. They want to get something that is a little personalized, that's customizable. And if you offered something like this in your shop, then that certainly would be true, or just something funny that a traveler would that would resonate with a traveler, which luggage tags are great for that. Another angle you can take here that I think would do really well, and I didn't see a lot of it already being done, are gifts for the bride and groom who are obviously going to be going on their honeymoon, and having a set that's for sale in your shop so that someone could buy the bride and the groom that as a wedding gift or an engagement gift so they can pack all their items for their honeymoon in it. I also think a unique piece of luggage would make a great graduate gift as they start their journey in life, that the suitcase could be a really great present aimed at that graduate. And last but not least, another way you can get inspiration for any product is when you are traveling. So while we were here in Las Vegas, we popped into souvenir shops and we got ideas from different types of products that we saw in the souvenir shops. We saw tumblers, we saw t-shirts, sweatshirts, hats, we saw magnets, all kinds of fun products, and we even saw some luggage. Quick pro tip, I always like to mention this when I'm going over expenses with my accountants during tax season, that we did market research while we were traveling, and now I'm filming a video while I'm in Las Vegas, so maybe I'll mention that to my CPA at the end of this year. But sometimes that means that we can write some of our trip off. So I'm no lawyer and I'm no accountant, but just a quick tip that might be something you want to have a discussion with your CPA. We're going to hop on the computer here in just a minute and I'll show you how to actually design your suitcase, your luggage in Printify. I'll show you what your cost is going to be so that you have an idea of what you would need to price this at. This is a higher ticket item and you can make quite a bit more profit on a piece of luggage than you can a t-shirt. And just a heads up, because I don't want you to miss it, after I share with you how to set this up or design this and get this listed in your shop, I'm also going to share with you a pro tip something that you should know definitely before you start listing suitcases in your shop. But before we get to that last point, I just wanted to give Heather Studio and Cassie Johnson a shout out. If you're not familiar with them, they're YouTubers that are six-figure Etsy shop owners. They are channels that I enjoy and I like listening to, and we actually bumped into them maybe a little bit on purpose here in Las Vegas. It was really cool to meet up with them. It was really cool to be with like-minded people that are building Etsy shops, and also, they're working on their YouTube channel, so I also got to be inspired by that through our conversations. Shay and I really enjoyed a melding of the minds with them. If you were looking for community, if you were looking to be in communication with others that are also in this journey, then I invite you to go down in the comments and start a conversation with us. As a matter of fact, why don't you tell us if you've been to Las Vegas, or a crazy story if you have one from Vegas. I know they do say what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, but if you want to share it with us, we definitely enjoy hearing about it. All right, let's go ahead and jump on the computer and I'll show you how to accomplish getting one of these listed in your shop. We're in Printify, and over here to the left, I went to the catalog, and then over here toward the right, I'm going to travel accessories. And we see the suitcases that we're going to be using are right here, but they've got lots of other things. Luggage tags was something else I saw some nice space for and a lot of search volume for. Quite a few options in luggage tags here. You also have like cosmetic bags. And the other thing I thought was really cool was the passport cover. So if you wanted to do a couple of, travel themed things, you've got a couple of products here. We've got the suitcases here. There are 3 sizes. I used this large size shown toward the back here. That's what you saw us using in this video. And if you kind of look through the photos, you can get some idea about what the inside of the suitcase looks like. And actually, I have a little clip here I can show you. They came nicely packaged. They had a big brown box, and inside the big brown box, you wound up with this brown bag around them with a drawstring at the top. And then they were nicely covered with this kind of protective plastic film. You've got the handle at the top here. That was all covered. And this handle pulls out and kind of snaps into 3 different locations to make it easy for you to roll. The rollers were fantastic. I have to have rollers when I'm traveling that turn 360 degrees. So they were fantastic. Except when I was doing this, Tucker found the plastic and decided to go to town on that. You can't turn your back on him for 1 second. Inside the bag, it had 2 zippered separation pieces. So I packed all of my shoes and makeup and all that on one side, and then it had these zippered pouches. There were 2 on this side, and then it had little snaps, and you could adjust it. You could click it, kind of hard to do with one hand here as I'm trying to show you and hold the phone. Both sides, this other side had 1 large zippered compartment. And then once you snap them in at the top and the bottom on both sides of the suitcase here, you can tighten them, and that flap, it becomes pretty tight over your items so that when you go to close the suitcase, nothing's really falling out. They also have a lock, and I didn't get this piece figured out or use it during our travels, but I thought it was a neat feature. Good quality zipper, and the wheels were a nice quality. Like I said, they turn 360 degrees, which is a non-negotiable for me when I'm traveling. Makes things so much easier. So nice quality. Here is personalized luggage, which is the print shop that's going to fulfill this for us. It is usually fulfilled. Estimated average production time is 3.1 days. $134 is the regular price, but $103 if you have Printify Premium. Here we are actually in my premium account. We see it's $103. That's going to be for the small. If you are interested in Printify Premium, I'll leave a link to them down in the description. It is well worth it. You get a much better price on a lot of their items. And with just a couple sales a month, you pay for that. And then the rest is just extra profit with each sale after that. Now we know that it's $134 for the small suitcase, or $103 if you're using Printify Premium. And it looks here like we're going to pay $9.69 for shipping, but not so fast. I don't want you to go listing this in your shop with that in mind as your price for shipping. We're going to get a little more information on this. And we're going to do that by going over here to provider info. So here we can take a look at what all the prices are. We see it's $134 for the small, $149 for the medium, and $164 for the large without Printify Premium. And with Printify Premium, $103, $114, and $126 for those same sizes. Now let's take a look at what the shipping costs would be, and we could do that by going up here over to the left, clicking on the tab Shipping. That $9.69 price is shipping only in the United Kingdom. So if you have an order in the United Kingdom, super duper, it's going to be, between $9 and $12 to ship it. I primarily sell in the United States and in Canada. So I'm going to be paying these prices. So it's going to be anywhere between $54 to $73. It actually winds up being $73 for the medium and the large, and it winds up being $54 for the small. So you would just want to make sure that you're pricing your suitcase appropriately. And you might even put shipping separate than the price of the suitcase, but I would work some of this into my regular price so that the shipping doesn't look so expensive to your potential customer when they click into your listing. Here's a quick example of one that is in demand. It has sold twice in the last 24 hours. The trick to selling an item like this is going to be personalizing it with something really special. So here we see this couple and their picture, because people can go to a store and they're going to be able to buy luggage that is at a cheaper price point and still a good quality for a piece of luggage. But the special thing with these is that it can be very custom, very personalized, very unique. It can make a really special gift. So your best bet here is to just make sure that you're adding something really valuable to the market, giving them a reason to pay the premium price, because they're getting they're getting a really special design on their piece of luggage. It's showing here that this item is starting at $172, but they do have several options in the sizes. So that would be one of the ways I would do that also, is to offer all 3 sizes so that I can have different price points there. And I would probably charge for shipping, so that front end price looks a little cheaper. Back to designing, we can go to the top right corner and click that little icon. We only have small by default selected. So we're going to go in and just select medium and large also, so that we can offer all 3 sizes. Now we can choose a color to put as kind of our background behind the words. We could go and choose one of their background colors. Here I selected orange. Or I wanted to go with neon colors. Our friend Laneta, one of her favorites is neon. So I thought I'd make each one a different neon. Here I'm going to grab this yellow by grabbing the hex number. Once I have that, I just Googled it. Now I'm going back over to Printify, back into the colors, and I'm just going to cut and paste that hex number in there, and now I've got that yellow there. Now I can just drag and drop one of the designs that I created over in Kittl or in GoDaddy Studios or in Canva, whichever app you're using to create your designs. Now I don't want my words to go wrapping around the edge. I want them kind of, for the most part, to be very readable from the front. So I'm just going to kind of shrink this so that it stays there on the front and doesn't go onto those areas there that show that that part's wrapping around the side of the suitcase. Now this will be a little different per size, so I am going to need to make a specific design per size. So let's go ahead and select small, and I am going to go ahead and make a specific design for small, and now I can just readjust as needed. And I'll get a chance in just a minute. I know this is the part that when you first sell a suitcase, you're going to be nervous about. And in a minute, we'll get to see all of the mock-up photos, and we'll get to see each size to give us a pretty decent idea of what it's going to look like. So I'm doing that for medium and large, and I'm just adjusting the design a bit to make sure it's fitting well and not wrapping too much around the sides. If it wraps a little bit, it's okay. But I really want you to be able to read it from the front. That'd be the whole point of this design, so someone can shout someone's name out. That's what a customer would be expecting. So here it gives us all the mock-up photos, and for my listing I would just use these mock-up photos, because this is for t-shirts I would not just use the mock-up photos that the print company is giving us, but for these I would, since it kind of is a little harder to buy mock-ups for this. I can see what the small looks like by clicking on this one, and I can kind of see it kind of looks like it's wrapping around right there just a tad. Here's the medium, looks good. The large looks excellent. So you could adjust if you want to after checking it out here. Let's put one more of these together, but this time we'll use a photo. If you were wondering what to save your print files as, right here you can find that it needs a DPI of 300, and the print area size, it's 5433 by 7323 pixels there. So that's what you would save it as in whichever design app you're using. I went ahead and saved this photo in my design app as that, and now I just drag and drop it right here. Now this time you do want to take up the whole space. You see how I've got kind of a white line there over to the left as I move this photo around? That would look strange when they go to print this and there's a white line. It would look like it was printed incorrectly or something. So this photo, I'm just going to keep moving it around a little bit and try to get us a little bit in the middle. This might not be the best photo to use as this example, but it was a fun one that we took. I would just kind of mess with this, but I would take that photo and make sure it covered the entire space, the part that was going to wrap around, and then I can get an idea of what it would look like here. So that pro tip I wanted to share with you before you start listing these in your shop, I think it's super important to be aware of this. A product like a suitcase, unless you have multiple providers that can print it up for you in case one of the providers runs out of stock, I would not suggest building your shop on that product. So I've built my shop on shirts and sweatshirts. I have some other products in my shop, but I primarily sell shirts and sweatshirts, and that's a really safe product to go with. It's in high demand. Lots of people are coming to Etsy to search for those products. And I have many providers, print on demand companies that I can fulfill that product with. The suitcases, you would want to make sure that you have more than one provider that you can fulfill the suitcase that you're selling in your shop. I haven't done a lot of research on whether or not there are other providers out there, but I do know that after I printed these suitcases up for myself and my friends, I went back into Printify to look at some more. Maybe I was going to print some more, and they were out. This is right after Christmas time, and they were out of stock on all of their suitcase sizes for a while. And so I just wanted to kind of share that with you. Unless you have more options than just one print provider, you would really not want to base your entire shop on that particular product. And that wouldn't just go for suitcases, that'd go for any product that you're putting in your shop. So now you might be curious about what other products are in high demand on the Etsy platform, and I can share a couple of those products with you. But first, if you did find any value from this video, we'd so appreciate you taking a second to go down and hit that like button to let us know that you enjoyed this. And if you'd like to see us popping up in your feed more often, we invite you to subscribe right now. All right, so if you want to know a little more about products on high demand, we suggest you check out this video here next. Bye.
Bye. And don't forget, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
Except for what you share with us down in the comments.